That's why, ladies and gentlemen, the key to overcoming sin is not behavior modification. I'm going to stop lying. I'm going to be very intentional about stopping lying. I'm going to block her so that they can't reach me. I'm going to not go to this place anymore. I'm going to not hang out with these people. No, I'm going to not. And we focus on the behavior modifications. But internally, the message is still distorted. And so that's why it could be after 3 months. You did good for 3 months, and then you did good for a year, and then you ain't talked to them for 5 years, but the first time you saw them, whoo, you get weak in the knees. You all right? Hey, we here. The key to overcoming sin is not in behavior modification. And it makes sense because if it was, then we'll be saved by works. If I could, by my behavior, make myself better, why do I need Christ? So, the key to overcoming sin is to allow God to restore his image in us in the face of Jesus Christ. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, let's go back to the garden. At the core of the lie that the enemy conveyed to Adam and Eve was, God is not trustworthy. He's hiding things from you. He's not a good provider. In other words, God is not a trustworthy provider. So, if that is the lie, their response was, what are we going to provide for ourselves? And that has been the condition of humankind all along. That's why the subtitle of the book Katie mentioned is Giving Up My Aprons of Fig Leaves for His Robe of Righteousness. Because all the fig leaves were was us providing for ourselves. That's why faith is, let me provide. You don't have to provide for yourself. That's why when the enemy tempts Jesus in the wilderness and say, hey, if you really are the Son of God, turn these stones into bread. Jesus is like, I don't have to do that. You ain't get it yet. My struggle, your struggle every single day is to truly trust that every need that we have, God will provide. That's our struggle every day. And here's the reality. As Christians, we have some level, okay? God will help with the bills. God will help with the children. God will help with putting gas in the car. But the more personal things, can God really help with my loneliness? So God, okay, provide the bills, provide the gas in the car, but the loneliness part out, I got it. And so our journey, mine and yours, every day, is like the Israelites' journey through the wilderness. It is to continually trust that every need that God is going to provide it. So the way we get there is by allowing God to restore his image in us. So here's what God did. The lie is God is not a trustworthy provider. Right? Here's what God did. Here's my son. He's going to die for you. He's going to die for you to show you I keep my word, and when a sacrifice is needed, I provide. So every time you and I look at the cross, or we contemplate on the cross, it communicates to us that God is indeed a trustworthy provider. And that you and I, we don't have to make our own way because he is the way.